All right, y'all, it's Andreas here with Fighting Words, and I'm here with the former champion getting ready to fight at 154 pounds to make his debut against Jose Benavidez, Danny Swift Garcia, who is riding to the gym right now in a fancy-ass car, man. What's going on, brother?
I'm doing good, man.
So let me ask you, man, you've done a lot of interviews, you've done a lot of talking, and you've talked about you were 50% at the Spence fight, you were talking about the time off. But I'm very curious because there was a time where you were on top of the world, and what I mean by that is I was going through your run of fights, which was, I think it started with Nate Campbell and went to Kendall Holt, Eric Morales twice, Amir Khan, Zab Judah. Do you think that run is one of the most underrated runs in recent memory in boxing? I don't think you get enough credit for what you did at that time.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, even if you look at it today, I still been, I know I didn't get the win against Spence, but I'm still showing that I compete at that top level and I'm giving people hell. You know, even in a few of my losses, razor edge that a lot of people thought I won. So this is a 10-year run you're talking about where I'm still fighting, everyone still competing, and I'm still here, and I feel better than ever. But definitely, I definitely feel sometimes like it's underrated because I don't think a lot of fighters have done what I've done over the last 10 years.
It's impressive, man, and it's one of those things where you look at those wins. There was a lot of dominant victories against future Hall of Famers at that time, and now you're 34 and you're getting ready to fight, and it's like, when we talk about getting the fire back, right? There's a time where you do all this and one day you wake up and you kind of have everything you want. You got the money, you got the world titles, your sisters are doing well. Do you remember the day where you woke up and was like, this is starting to feel like work and not the thing that I love?
I would say at one time it felt like that because it felt like I was just doing it too much. You know what I mean? Like burning myself out a little bit. But when I took this layoff, I realized that, I love boxing. I felt like something was missing in my life. And I want to take advantage of whatever I got left in the tank. I want to take advantage of it now and leave my legacy behind as a great champion.
You remember the day that you woke up and was like, damn, I really missed this. I miss competing, because you were out for a minute. Do you remember that day?
Yeah, I would say probably the beginning of the year. After a year, I was like, I'm starting to miss boxing. I'm starting to miss the smell of the gym. I'm starting to miss sparring. I'm starting to miss running. I'm starting to miss that nervous feeling. So that's when I knew it was time for me to get back in there and take advantage of everything I got left.
And did you also know at that time, because you've been squeezed into 147 for a minute, you was like, you know what? It's also time to hit this 54.
That's the reason. That was another part of my game plan to take the layoff to actually get bigger. To put on more weight and put on more, let my body just fill out instead of just putting, all that extra pressure to lose the weight. So that was a part of the game plan too, to take the layoff to let my body get bigger so I could fill into 154 because I knew I was coming back at 154.
Let's talk about the fight coming up. Benavidez, he's been in there with Terrence Crawford. He's a tough dude. He comes from a tough family. I know you want the knockout, and I know you said, if it goes 12, it goes 12, but come on, dog, let's be honest. How bad do you want that knockout? Especially considering, here's the thing, everybody's been talking about Ryan Garcia's left hook. I think people forgot about yours a little bit, and I think you want to establish that we got to remember Swift got that left hook.
Right, definitely. I definitely want the KO. I'm feeling strong. I feel good. I've been sparring guys, and I've been hurting them, so I definitely feel like my power is there, and if he opens up, I'm definitely gonna put him there.
How does the body feel at 54? And I say that not saying just physically, because boxing is mostly a mental game, and when you're not training to lose weight and you're training to fight, how would you compare how you feel right now to previous fights?
I feel great. I feel happy. I still gotta, you always gotta lose weight. Nobody walks around at their weight. Just because I move up in weight don't mean I have to lose weight. So I still gotta lose weight, work hard, but I don't have to strain my body. I can work on my skills, working on sharpening all my tools, and that's the big difference this camp.
Is there any question that you still got it in your mind? Is this one of those moments where you get in the ring and it's like, can I still do what I was doing 10 years ago? Or do you got to change a little bit as you get a little older?
You definitely have to be smarter. I was more, when I was, when I was at 140, I was more reckless. I was bleeding and everything. But, this is a game. You can always bleed, but you definitely want to be smarter and wiser as you get older. You got a lot of experience. You know what to do. You know when to turn it up. You know when to counter. So definitely use all my tricks.
And at 54, obviously, you want to be a world champion in another weight class. And I know that's a big deal to you. But do you think you already have Hall of Fame credentials, or do you think you still need to do more to get into the Hall of Fame?
I mean, if you compare me to all the other fighters, if you look at my resume, you look at their resume, and what I've done and how many world champions I've faced. I think I've faced 14 world champions. The fan base I built, the popularity I built, the world championships, unified 140, 147. I definitely think I should be in the Hall of Fame. And right now, what I'm doing now is just put the icing on the cake.
Let me ask you this. And when I ask this question, when I ask you the toughest fight that you had, nothing to do with you, because like you've mentioned, there's some fights that you might have had an off night. You weren't feeling completely up to it. But there's some fights that you were like, this was just a tough ass fight. What is the toughest fight of your career?
I want to say the three. I got three. Matisse was one. I would say Peterson was one. For some reason, I felt like I had to dig deep that fight. And then the Spence fight. Those three fights, I say, were my hardest, where I had to dig deep, like get that extra grit.
That Matisse fight, I'm glad you brought that up, because that was the night that there was a lot of people was like, man, Swift is biting off more than he can chew. Matisse is a killer, and this, that, and the third, and you went out there and showed him. Is that still one of your favorite performances, and especially the one that put you on the map that was like, oh shit, he's for real?
Definitely, because I was the underdog. Nobody thought I was gonna win. He was knocking everybody out. So that felt good. That win felt good. But I was surprised when I won that fight, because I watched tape on him, and I knew I was better than him. I just knew that he had a lot of hype with the media, so I had to go in there and show the world why I'm one of the best. And another tough fight is the first Eric Morales fight. That was one of my hardest fights, because I faced adversity in my first world title fight. He cut me, he busted my nose. He was a tricky veteran, and that's definitely up there too. Probably one of my hardest fights.
Are you a tricky veteran? Are you about to show that you're a tricky veteran now?
Oh yeah, definitely. We're still here. I'm a young vet, so so I feel good.
What do you expect in this fight with Benavidez? Because sometimes you get out there and some fighters say, I want to have a great fight. I want to excite the fans. But that also comes with some back and forth, right? Like sometimes you got to get hit to excite the fans. Is that what you really want? Or would you prefer to go out there, kind of keep it clean and get him out of there and just show people that Swift is still Swift and he doesn't have to take a lot of damage in this fight?
We're going to let the fight play out. He likes to fight. I like to fight. I can box if I want. So we just got to go in there and see what the fight turns into.
I want to bring it all back to hunger, because when you're young and you're hungry, and you don't have any food on your plate, you're fighting to eat, right? You're not really fighting to eat anymore. You've done well for yourself. How is the hunger different now? Because it's not just about the check. Of course you want to get paid. Everybody wants to get paid. But how is the hunger different now as a competitor, especially considering all that you've been through heading into this fight? How is that fire different than the fire going into like the Matisse fight?
I don't think about none of that stuff, to be honest. I don't think about what I have and what I accomplished. I just think about fighting. I love to fight. This is what I do. So I get a thrill out of it.
And how does your dad feel about the return to Swift?
Oh, he's happy. Even every month after the Spence fight, he was asking me when I was coming back. I'm like, we just fought like 2 weeks ago. So he's happy. We're back in there, finally.
So, in the last question, as always, people want to know how busy you want to be this year and things of that nature. But are you trying to take some time off and look at 2023? Is there any chance you will fight again at the end of the year?
I have to see what's next. It's not that simple. I would love to stay active and go back to back. But, you got a manager. You got to see what's best for you. You got showtime. So it's a lot of factors to play in there. So I just got to go in there, take advantage of this opportunity, and then I'll wait on the next one.
Perfect. Well, Swift, we appreciate the time, man. You've been doing interviews for the past several weeks. It's good to have you back in boxing. The sport has missed you, and I'm sure you've missed it as well. So good luck next week, and I hope to get to speak to you again after a big victory.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
All right, man. You take it easy.
For sure.